Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today I get to interview Jackie Yogi McDonnell.
Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now.
Hi Shannon, it's Yogi here, coming to you live from Kennedy Meadows. We're about a month out of seeing our first, maybe 6 weeks out from seeing our first northbound hikers, and we're getting very excited for it. I'm actually kind of excited to do this little interview with you because I've seen your name on Facebook for the last couple years, and you always seem really positive and excited about hiking, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to, join you in your quest to distribute information about the PCT to future hikers. Not pay attention to what other people are doing on the trail. It doesn't matter what somebody else's base weight is, or what date they started, or how many miles a day they do. Don't try to measure yourself against somebody else, whether you are doing more mileage, have lighter weight, and started later than they do, or if you are doing less mileage, have heavier weight, and started earlier than they do. It doesn't matter. What every single person does is perfect for them. Don't try to measure yourself against anybody. Just don't. I had a great hiking friend once. I was talking about how I didn't like that I was slower than other people. And he looked at me and he said, Yogi, you hike at your pace, and there's nothing wrong with that. And words are powerful. And to have a good friend say that to me, it meant a lot. And, I'd spent a lot of my hiking career trying to keep up with people that were younger than me. And what that did is it led to me getting injured a lot. Even if you hike a quarter of a mile an hour faster than your normal pace, you're going to get injured. So just don't do it. If you can't keep up with this person who you think is cool, that's fine. Let them go ahead. There's somebody equally cool behind you, and you're going to meet so many more people. So just don't try to measure yourself and think that you're not as good as or not as fast as that somebody else, because it's just not the case. On Facebook, we had talked about, skipping trail, should you not, this and that. Well, first of all, let's just say I would like to address a San Jacinto. That is an awesome mountain to summit. That happens before the closure, and I highly recommend everybody take that side trail to the top of San Jacinto, because you're up there, 10,000, 11,000 feet. It's pretty high. And you're looking down to the desert 8,000 feet below you. It's pretty powerful. So I recommend you do that. You don't ever want to skip trail, but if the actual official PCT is closed, you can't be there. So it's closed either for a fire is actually happening, or there was a fire, and so now there's the danger of trees falling down or the slope slipping, whatever that may be. So that becomes your PCT. You can't be there. What I recommend is try to find a way around. Try to connect your steps from Mexico to Canada, especially when that closure is so early on. It's like 180, 190 north of Mexico. Don't skip trail that early on, because if you skip that early, then later on you're going to think, oh, well, I skipped trail earlier, so I can skip again, or I can skip again, or I can skip again. It's a really powerful feeling to stand at the border of US and Mexico and look north. And then 3, 4, 5 months later, you're at the border of US and Canada and you're looking south. And you're standing up there at the Canadian border and saying, you know what? I connected my steps. I walked here from Mexico. Connect your steps. If the trail is closed, find a way to walk around, whether it's trail or, highway or 2-track or dirt road, whatever. Look at maps. You're smart. Take some time. Look around. Figure out how you can walk around a closure and connect your steps. Don't take the easy way. A PCT hike is not easy. There's a lot of challenges. And one of the challenges is, hey, the trail might be closed once in a while. So figure it out. If the actual PCT is closed, you find a detour and that becomes your PCT for that year. It's that simple. It's kind of sad that the word purist has become a bad word. If you're labeled a purist, people look at you like, oh, hike from Mexico to Canada using the Pacific Crest Trail. Why is that a bad thing? It shouldn't be bad. If a person chooses to not hike the entire Pacific Crest Trail, there should be no shame in that. If they want to skip from, I don't know, Big Bear City to Agua Dulce because they don't want to do that section of trail. They want to skip up to meet their friends in Agua Dulce and continue hiking north. That's fine. Good for them. Enjoy your summer on the Pacific Crest Trail. Just don't go home later and say that you hiked the Pacific Crest Trail because you didn't. You hiked most of it, but you did not hike the Pacific Crest Trail. Because when you say, I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, that implies that you hiked from Mexico to Canada, and you did not. So, when it comes to detours and closures, I recommend that people find a way to connect their steps. That's the way I hike. If that's not the way you hike, nothing wrong with that. Just own what you do or what you do not do, because that's just being an honest person. Thank you for asking about TCO. Triple Crown Outfitters is our outfitter here in Kennedy Meadows at mile 702. This is where you guys all resupply for the Sierra. We have, gear, clothing, all the snow gear you need, extensive resupply. I'm quite proud of our resupply. When I hiked, this just didn't exist. There is a general store here, but it's more geared towards tourists and people in cars. It's just not, it was never geared towards hikers. And, prior to TCO opening, hikers would ship packages to the general store, but you'd have to make your decisions on your Sierra resupply or your snow gear 2 to 3 weeks in advance, but prior to arriving here in Kennedy Meadows. And that's just not practical because the snow situation changes weekly. When I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, I really enjoyed my time in Kennedy Meadows. It's a beautiful part of the world. I enjoyed the people that were here. Now that I live here, I understand that what I really enjoyed was the hikers, not so much the people that live here. The hiker part is fantastic, and that's what I live for every year, is for hiker season to show up again. Because, oh my gosh, the enthusiasm and, just talking to people and getting the chance to pay forward all the kindness that I've experienced. A lot of people helped me early on and give me advice, and, I learned from all of that. And, I think it's my responsibility to pass on, pay it forward, what I've learned in my life. And that's what I do here at Triple Crown Outfitters is, help others achieve their dreams. And that's, it's a business. Yes, I'm here to make money, but I also I want people to be safe. I want them to be happy. I want them to make good gear choices and, go on and experience this wonderful hike of the Pacific Crest Trail.